Welcome to the Rebel Mystic Podcast, where practical intuition meets elevated soul. I'm your host, Isabel, evidential psychic medium and spiritual teacher, and I'm here to help you activate your gifts, trust your inner voice, and embody your spiritual power. Let's rise together. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rebel Mystic Podcast. I'm your host, Isabel, and today I'm really excited to share that I'm bringing back the collective monthly readings. It's been a long time since I've done this, and if this is something that you would like, go ahead and let me know in the comments, like this video, and if this resonates with you or, a friend that this might resonate with, please go ahead and share this video with them. And also, I want to let you know some of the things that are going to be going on within my business. I'll go and just put a little blurb over here somewhere so you can read through that. I don't want to jabber and take all the attention off of the reading. So let's go ahead and jump right in, starting with your current self. Now, we have the Crown Chakra card here for your current self. And let's take a little step back and reflect back on September. Okay, September was a very heavy month. It was very heavy within the collective grief. It was very heavy with events that were happening within the world. And honestly, it's just very much a heavy energy. So I feel like there was a switch within all this stuff going on of you saying, okay, the physical world, the tangible world right now, like this is just really crazy. I need to connect with my higher power just to bring that comfort. And I don't blame you, because in 2020, when I was really going through it and I was having a really hard time, my spirituality, my connection to my faith, and all of that is what really got me through those hard moments. So with the Crown Chakra card, I feel like this being your current self is that you're starting to reconnect with that inner self, your higher self, God, source, whatever you would like to call it. And the theme of this month, which I love, Scorpio, this is your card. We're getting close to Scorpio season. We have the transformation card. So why I really think that this is important, not just because October is literally that month of like death and then rebirth is in the spring. I feel like this is actually very important to mention because I feel like you're going to be going through a transformation. You know that you want change. You know that you want things to be different. And you're starting to take action on that. But I don't really feel like you're going to see like the huge, wow, like this really happened until around springtime of next year. So all of your hard work, all of your intention and efforts is really going to play in to everything that you're doing leading up into possibly, let's say April, because if you count, it's the 13th card, 1 + 3, numerology, it's 4. Okay. So I'm thinking of April. However, this is also kind of pointing to, if we're going on with the number 4, this is about foundations and building these foundations. So a lot of things may have crumbled for you back in September, but you're trying to find your footing, okay? And you're trying to make change in what you can. You need to remember we are the creators of our own reality, okay? There are things that are out of our control, but right now, what I'm asking you to do, it's to start reflecting on what it exactly is in your life that you want to see change and how are you going to get there. So the key goal to pursue this month, we have patience and planning. Okay, so this is very much so, again, just being patient with yourself and actually making a plan. This is like getting very logical. Dive into that divine masculine energy and really start planning and piecing together how you want to get to, point A, point C, point D, all the way to point Z. So this is time to be patient, take your time, and plan the map of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Interestingly enough, the obstacle to overcome is the waiting game. So I feel like this is going to kind of be like the yin and yang, okay? We know to get to our goals, we live in a world of convenience, right? So we want things like, right now most of the time, but you have to remember divine timing is a thing. It might not happen right now. So this patient and planning card, that is your key goal. The waiting game, even though I know it's hard, even though I know that you want the results right now, you want things to be different, whether this be in your love life, your financial life, maybe you want more money coming in, maybe you want a different job, maybe you want, whatever it is in your personal life that you are aiming for. this is going to be the obstacles, that patience, that waiting. It might feel very painful. However, I feel like every month up until then, even every day up until then, as long as you are taking intentional action, you are going to see huge progress. I mean, it's going to come up into baby steps, but you have to think every single time that we have a little baby step, it's coming into the bigger picture. Okay, we're building the bigger picture every intentional action that we take. So, this is your reminder to not give up and to know that even though the patience and the waiting game might feel like an obstacle right now, know that what you are building and these intentional actions that you're taking is what's really going to get you to where you want to be. All right, so let's move on to a major accomplishment, okay? This is the discontent and boredom card. So I want you to look at this, because if you look at this card, this guy, he's like pointing away of like all this beautiful, there's so much beautiful stuff behind him and stuff, and he's just looking away. He's stagnating, okay? He's not moving forward to all the beauty that's ahead of him, right? He's facing backwards towards it. I feel like this may have been you in the past, maybe not knowing, maybe you were really comfortable and you just wanted to stay in your comfort zone. But this card is really coming out for the major accomplishment. I think this is really huge because now you are finally taking action this month, okay? And I feel like this is going to be major action. You're going to be taking really big leaps and steps, even though, like I said, it's going to feel like little baby steps. But trust me, in the bigger picture, this is going to make a lot of sense if you keep true to yourself. And this card is another card with 4. So again, this comes to foundations, okay? Building the foundations and stuff. You're taking action on building the foundations to build your kingdom, to build that desire and the goals that you want, okay? Again, like I said earlier, you are the creator of your own reality. If there is something that you desire, if there's something that you want to manifest, this is on you, okay? And the first step to manifestation is taking that intentional, aligned action. Now we have what to avoid. We have solitude, okay? And this is also a 9 card. So this is the card about endings, okay? This is a card that's saying, don't come back into yourself and revert away from your goals. Or I'm not saying that you can't go into a time of healing, but don't linger in the solitude. Don't linger within, just kind of like hunker down and like go inside. This is about kind of reaching out. I feel like what spirit wants you to know is to, like, I feel like the solitude would get you in your head, if that makes sense. And then you're not going to be taking action. You're going to be overthinking. You're going to be talking yourself out of it, thinking, well, I don't think this is going to happen. Maybe I should just sit back and like rethink it. This is going to be going in your mind. And I feel like this is pairing with the obstacle to overcome with the waiting game. Because the thing is that when we don't see the results that we desire, the results that we want, sometimes if it's not coming fast enough, we start to doubt ourselves. We start to overthink. We start to think, well, maybe this isn't worth it, okay? Because you need to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, okay? So this is walking through that fear. This is making those steps. The solitude card is really just telling you not to revert back in. This is your time to charge forward, okay? Next, we have what to embrace. This is fulfillment and wishes, okay? Honestly, best card in the deck, okay? So what spirit really is telling you for the collective of what you should be embracing right now is that feeling of what it would be like to reach those goals that you want, what it would be like to bring that love into your life that you want, or the finances you want in your life. What does that feel like, okay? Because you do want this transformation to happen. You do want your goals to come to light, your manifestations to come to light, okay? And that's another thing about manifestation. It's kind of like putting yourself as that higher self that already achieved it, okay? You already achieved what you wanted. What does that feel like, okay? And you really need to get into that and embody that feeling of, this is what it would feel like if it was already achieved. And I'm going to start living like that and embodying that, because that's what's going to bring you closer. So the fulfillment of wishes card, I feel like, is a very, very positive thing to embrace for this month, because I mean, you have to remember, eventually you're going to get there, okay? It might take some time, but you're going to get there. Now we have where to find support. We have memories of love. And I think this is very warm. Think of people that brought you a lot of peace, people who have brought you a lot of support in your life. And maybe reconnecting with those people. Maybe these are some people in your past that you think, well, I feel like they could help me. This could be also maybe someone that you haven't reached out, but you've seen. Like, let's say if maybe I'm getting the idea of like, okay, well, I've seen this person on social media. Maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a mentor or somebody like that, but you haven't actually reached out. This is the time to reach out to that person and get the help that you need. Okay, get the support that you need. Even if it's just like something that you don't have to necessarily pay for, maybe you're just like looking for advice or like a direction or something. Look into groups. There's a lot of Facebook groups. There's a lot of things that you can possibly look into that would be able to support you in your goals and what you're trying to achieve. And again, like I said, this could also be someone that you already know. This could be someone from your past, but the memories of love is always pointing to someone who has been very helpful in the past or that you find inspiration from. So definitely check back in with yourself and think, okay, where can I find this person? And maybe it's not even a person, maybe it's a service, maybe it's a thing, but whatever it is that can help you and supporting your goals and your intentions is where you want to lead and where you want to put some of your energy in. And I feel like this is going to stop you from what you want to avoid, which is getting too much in your head, too much solitude, too much, going back. This is I believe this is the Hermit card in tarot. So this is like really like reverting inwards. Okay, we don't want to revert back inwards. We don't want to get in our heads. So anything that you can find support in that will help you stay away from that, I feel like that's really huge. Someone who's going to support you and saying, hey, I understand that you need to be patient. Okay, this might even be listening to inspirational videos and stuff, so like things to get you really motivated, and possibly making that a habit of listening to these motivational speeches and stuff. Someone who I really love to listen to is Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. um Possibly finding someone like him or someone else that you really resonate with to be able to help support you in this new era that you're basically birthing into. So you have to think, remember, transformation card, theme of the month. This is Scorpio energy. This is death and rebirth. So death metaphorically of the old self, birth into the new self. Are you going to step up to that challenge? Because it's not going to be easy. Okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very probably difficult, probably uncomfortable. But if you really want to see everlasting change in your life, you have to make that decision. You have to make that choice. And talking about choices, this is the advice and encouragement. Last card we have here is choose wisely. Okay, so think about it. You might have a ton of options, a sea of options. The only time I want you to possibly go into the solitude card, I know that they said too, we talked about avoiding that, is when it comes to making choices. Now, this is not about getting in your head. This is about feeling with the body, okay? Because the body knows before the mind. I don't know if you ever heard that quote before, but it's one of my favorites. And it's true. The brain naturally indecisive with the two hemispheres, so we overthink a lot of stuff. We might think an opportunity is, yes, we should totally go for this, and then later regret it because maybe it seemed really good at the time until we actually stepped into it. And then we're like, you know what? I don't like this. This is not what I wanted. So really feel into the choices that come up for you. Ask yourself, since I'm trying to transform out of my old self into a new version of me, into a new life and a bigger change that I want to see, would my higher self, would that future version of me choose this decision? Take that opportunity that seems so amazing. Would they take that? Okay, and if you feel into your body and you feel a little bit contraction, like, I don't know, or something seems a mess, like maybe you read through, like, say it's like a job offer and you read through it, and then maybe you do some research on the company and, like, the two things aren't clicking. Take that as a sign, okay? Um, but ultimately, really feel into your decisions that you're making and make sure that they are aligned with the higher version of yourself that you are trying to become. I also feel like this is where the patience and planning comes in. You need to be patient with yourself. This is not about making decisions immediately, impulsively. This is about taking your time to say, well, I like that offer, but let me think about it a little bit before I actually say yes to it, okay? This is what it's telling you to. And again, even the obstacle to overcome, we had the waiting game, okay? It might feel uncomfortable to wait. Maybe you want to jump on the bandwagon and say, okay, let's do this. But again, it might not be the right decision because again, that waiting game part might be hard. You might want to say like, okay, this is it. This is happening. Okay, it just landed in my lap right now. Let's do it. But is it actually going to serve your highest good? Okay. So patience planning, I feel like this is again going to the divine masculine, being very logical, making decisive decisions, not based on emotions all the time, because it gets you really excited and you just want to jump into it. You need to think about it first, but ultimately feel how it makes you feel on the inside. How does it feel in your actual body? And the centers where I want you to focus on is usually like sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra. Ask yourself and feel into that area, in the gut area. And when you ask yourself, is this aligned for my highest good? Is this aligned? Is this going to align with the transformation that I'm trying to achieve? And if you feel contraction or a then that's probably a sign that you shouldn't take it. But trust that the universe is going to help you. This is your current self, the crown chakra card, very spiritual. Trust that the universe, that God is going to be able to provide for you. You are provided for. They are not going to drop the ball and let you falter as long as you are following your highest intentions. I feel like this can also be connecting with your higher self, connecting with your guides and asking them, hey, help me out, help me make a decision, give me a sign to let me know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. If you are feeling a little bit unsure, remember, you are never alone. You can always ask your spirit team for guidance, for assistance, for help, for clarity. You don't have to come to a psychic like me all the time, okay? You are your own psychic and you're probably your best psychic, okay? We all have these abilities. The first step is trusting not just yourself, but trusting in spirit and fully surrendering to that clarity and that guidance that they are giving you, okay? So I hope that this reading really resonated with you. Ultimately, October feels like a fantastic month of transformation and taking the aligned actions to get you to where you want to be. This is the stepping stone, okay? This is the stepping stone. It's like you're at the door. Are you going to close it fully behind you and walk into that new version of yourself? Because if so, it's going to be incredible. Okay, so let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. If you love this, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be doing this a lot more often, at least monthly for the collective. And don't forget to like this video. Let's get this pushed out in the algorithm so other people who need to hear this message can hear this message. Love and blessings, everyone. And until next time, bye-bye, my friends. Thanks for tuning in to the Rebel Mystic Podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Want to go deeper in your development? Explore my signature mentorship, Awaken the Psychic Goddess Within. Linked in the show notes. Until next time, stay grounded and stay open. Your magic is needed.